man, how's it going?
It's going good. How about you?
Good. I'm already recording if you want to jump right into this.
Okay, let's jump right into it.
Alright, welcome to the Groupthink Podcast. It's been too long. I've not been good at keeping up with these.
How long has it been?
For us, it's probably been a solid 6 months or so, honestly.
Oh, really?
Maybe more. It's been forever. For accuracy's sake, I will pull it up on the YouTube and see what the date was on the last episode.
Okay.
You've piqued my curiosity. Now I must answer this question. So you're on summer vacation, as I seem to recall, right?
Yes, and because of my school's weird schedule thing, I don't start up again until September 25th.
Oh yeah, Tribeca's wonderful and bizarre times.
Mm-hmm. And the change in trimesters to quarters.
You were on trimesters?
Yeah, I was.
Oh yeah, because they have They have summer, fall, and then spring. I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
That's weird. They're changing that. That's weird because it was kind of based around like people's like availability. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll see how this one goes.
Okay, so I found the last episode you were on. Return of Cole was March 15th.
March 15th. Oh, that wasn't that long ago. I mean, that was a long time ago, but...
Yeah. So yes and no. It wasn't that far back, but it was far. It's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
So how is your schooling experience going? For the audience who, if you haven't seen this before, he is currently going to the school I went to back in the day 2 years ago.
Following in your footsteps.
Yeah, they're vast.
But yeah, I mean, taking a lot of classes. I was going 4 days a week. I just finished, what classes did I finish? I finished World Cultures and Math, but I took this one class, I forgot what it's called, but it involved photography and editing. It involved both of the skills, where you had to go out and you would have to edit them in class. It involved a lot of different stuff. So that was interesting, and nothing too exciting to discuss, though.
Seems like they're getting a little more esoteric.
Wait, what?
Seems like they're getting a little more esoteric with their the way they're being creative with their classes. So.
So what?
Pretentious. I don't know.
Okay.
I like big words.
I mean, I guess you could say that.
Fair enough.
It was interesting when I had already taken an editing class, and then I just now took the second one, but this one involved more recording it yourself, because the other editing class was they would give you footage to edit, but now this one you'd have to make the footage to edit.
Do you have an idea what you're going to be going for your second year?
No, actually, I don't. I'm still waiting for the schedule that they're going to give me. They usually don't give me my schedule until about a month before.
Okay, because I know by the end of my first year, we'd already sat down with the teachers and decided what the course I wanted to take would be, so...
Oh, yeah, I don't know. They haven't contacted me about that yet.
Wow, they're really streamlining crap.
I guess. I don't know. They never did that with me before, so I never really thought about it.
They're not telling you things, Cole. They're conspiring against you, Cole.
I knew this was happening. What do I do?
You try not to die? I don't know. Shut up,
Same
phone.
thing I've been doing this.
My phone rang. Not mad at you. It's not your fault, Cole. It's not your fault.
Well, thank you. That's good to know.
Just start shaking you violently. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You're just reenacting the "It's Not Your Fault" scene from Good Will Hunting.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen that movie in so long. My dad watched it the other day. I need to watch it again because I don't remember it very well.
Cole, it's not your fault.
Yes, it is.
I know. Of course it's not. It's not. I mean it. It's not your fault. Shut up, man. You don't know what it's not your fault. Shut up.
Yeah, didn't they win? They won best original screenplay for that, right? Is that right?
I don't know if it was Affleck Damon that wrote it. I know Gus Van Sant directed it, but I don't know if it was them specifically that wrote it. It might have been. You could be right.
I might just look it up.
This is gonna turn into the Looking Up Things podcast. This is very interesting.
Yeah, I'm always looking stuff up. Like I remember in my world cultures class, I was always just researching whatever the teacher was talking about. That's all I ever did.
Hooray!
Oh yeah, best writing, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck.
Matt Damon.
And Ben Affleck.
So now I got really curious and I started looking up all the channel analytics for my YouTube channel.
How's it looking?
Well, I have 24 subscribers, so I think I have a significant clout.
Hey, you got more than me!
What's that?
You got more than me!
I have more subscribers than you?
Yeah, I think I have like 17 or something. But I mean, I haven't posted anything in years.
Well, for context, I have approximately 58 episodes of my podcast and 14 episodes of my talk show up, so...
Oh.
I have more content and more videos than I do subscribers. It's kind of sad.
You know, you just gotta build it up. Slow beginnings.
Well, it comes in patches. I don't really know what the secret formula is.
I don't know. I started making videos like in 2013, and I sporadically set them out, but most of the subscribers were just people that I knew, and I think they felt sorry for me, and then they just subscribed. That's about it.
Oh. It sucks being a YouTuber with no clout.
Yep. Or, without paying for your subscribers.
Well, there's that.
That's always an option, just don't tell anyone.
You gotta perpetuate the circles. You pay them to watch the videos, they watch the videos, you get money for it, and then you pay them the money. It's circle of life.
Yeah, well, you don't pay the viewers directly. I've seen the things where you just, you pay somebody, and then they just send you viewers. I don't know what they're called, but, I've seen those things.
It's gotta be insanely illegal.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't think so if you're paying for it and then you're just getting the views, but people don't like it because it's kind of like, you don't really need any talent to start getting those views.
Who the heck knows?
Who knows? Who knows who started it?
Every single comment on my YouTube page is spam, very obviously.
What do they say?
Hi, Groupthink Productions. I think you're great. Follow me on Instagram.
your Instagram.
It's 3 separate comments that say the same thing.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
You blowing up.
Yeah, I'm officially spam-worthy. Spam, spam, spam. I don't like spam!
What's that remind me of? I don't know why, it made me think of that commercial, what was it? Parquet butter.
What?
I have no idea why I just thought of that.
I don't either. It's a very good question.
Well, anyways, what's been going on with you?
Well, I'm working full-time now.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, I'm not actually working in my vocation. I'm working at a warehouse, but it's work, so...
Yeah, it's work.
It's very hard to complain. I'm turning off the alert on my phone, because it's going to keep sending me crap.
That's a good idea. But, I mean, has anything exciting happened recently for you?
Well, I've got another film I'm starting to work on. I'm coming very close to publishing my my last year's feature film that I worked on, but I want to hold off on that until I know for sure it's not going to get into any festivals, which at the moment looks like it's the case. But
okay.
For the meantime, I'm trying to find another film to work on. I have an idea I wrote up a script for, It's unfortunately it's waiting being completed by the producer, so she needs to kind of do everything, get it in place, get the actors ready, and then we'll shoot it probably on weekends. And then in the meantime, I'm trying to come up with another movie I can do to kill time. I have a friend of mine who wants to shoot a horror movie, but we don't have a concept to work with, so it's kind of hard to work anything out for that.
Okay. I had this idea for a horror movie, but I haven't written anything down or anything like that.
What's your idea? I won't steal it.
I trust you. But it's like such a basic idea, and when like saying it out loud it sounds so generic, but it's like this sort of like this tall, skinny to the point where it almost looks like a skeleton man, and it eats body parts of people, and then those body parts grow onto the being, but it's rapidly decaying, so it needs to feed constantly and gets those extra body parts. And it's like so skinny and leathery where every time it eats something you can kind of see the outline of the body part sliding down its throat into its body and whatever.
There's an idea there, but it's very special effects driven.
Oh yeah. Or, you know, if you use the trick of the camera, it can be very left to the imagination.
That's some Tom Savini levels of crap, so good luck with that.
It'll be a challenge.
That's not a challenge. That's like overcoming a monstrosity.
Which is a challenge.
Well, yes.
But yeah.
Running into a brick wall is a challenge too, but I wouldn't advise it.
Wait, what?
Running into a brick wall is a challenge too. I would not advise it.
That's not a challenge. That's easy. Breaking through the wall is the challenge.
You would not believe the afternoon I've had, guys. I'm doing alright, but every once in a while I say the wrong cranberry.
The wrong cranberry. That's like my teacher, he would say that 74% of all statistics are...
You okay? You're kind of sputtering out a bit.
I heard that, yeah, I'm still here. I can still hear you too.
Alright. It's, we'll have to kind of see, because this might get bad, but we'll keep going. We'll forge ahead.
No, we will suffer through this.
Yeah, so are you seeing a lot of movies now since you're in film school, or are you kind of just like stuck working all the time now?
I see as many movies as possible, because before I would see movies on the regular. Now I see them a bit less often, but I still see a lot.
Have you seen anything interesting that's kind of piqued your interest?
Well, I watched Heathers. I've been meaning to do that, and I loved that. I saw Dunkirk and Detroit, actually.
Saw Dunkirk? I have not seen Detroit yet.
Yeah. Dunkirk's music, I really love the music and the sound design.
Oh, it's very good.
Yeah. Like, my only issue was that I don't know if this was just me, but their accents, sometimes I couldn't tell what they were saying.
I don't know. I don't have a hard time understanding the British. I mean, as Patton once said, we're two people still who are separated by a common language, so it's not completely impossible for that to be true.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if it was like the sound or the way they were talking. I don't know if like maybe the specific actors were talking too fast for me or whatever, but me and everyone else that I went to go see the movie with were having a hard time understanding what they were saying sometimes.
It might have been the sound mixing. I remember back when I saw Interstellar, the version I saw of it, I saw the 35mm version, and it was very weirdly sound mixed.
Okay, well.
I ended up getting into a bit of a tizzy with my teacher about whether or not 35mm film compresses audio severely, and he's like, I don't freaking know. I was like, you're my teacher! You're supposed to know this crap, and you work in sound effects editing, so what am I supposed to do?
Google it.
I don't want.
you better Google it.
I don't know how to do it.
Then Bing, what's it called? Bing? Bong? What's that thing called?
I've had 3 years to make this inquiry, and I haven't bothered yet. I'm not starting now.
Yeah, Bing it.
Bing. I ain't doing it.
Bing.
I ain't doing it.
Bing it.
I don't want.
That is not nearly as fun as saying Google it.
Bing.
Bong.
We need a topic. Otherwise, we're crashing and burning, man. We need a topic.
We always do this. Detroit. I saw Detroit.
Talk about Detroit. I have not seen it yet.
Yeah, I won't spoil anything, but I definitely had my heart racing frequently throughout the movie.
I mean, it's a historical movie. It's one of those things where if you're spoiling crap, you're spoiling things that actually happened. So.
Yeah, but from what I heard, this one is like most of the story is very word of mouth, so it depends on who you believe.
Yeah, I guess that's true with something like that. So.
Yeah, because there was no real record to exactly what happened. They just got the people that apparently were involved, and they got their stories. So they built the movie off of that. So it's hard to tell exactly how much of it's true and how much of it's inaccurate, but I guess that's how it is with any biographical film.
Sure. I guess I don't see a lot of these historical biographies are just not terribly interesting to me. Like, because I remember there was a period when I was watching a lot of the ones that I see on like DVD, and they're very clinical. They're very kind of poorly made, so you get really, really tired of them. And every once in a while, you get a really good one, like Straight Outta Compton or something. But most of the time,
I love Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, but I remember I saw back in 2013. I saw Mandela: Long Road to Freedom, and it's like 3 hours long, and it doesn't have a lot of narrative propulsion. And I was just sitting in the theater like, I'm dying. Please save me.
You know, I've never watched anything that long. No, I have. The It miniseries. That was 3 hours.
Oh Lord, you actually watched that?
I did, because I was preparing for the new movie. I watched the miniseries, and then I read the book, which the book, by the way, is 44 hours.
That's martyrdom in some countries, man.
I mean, I felt like I was dying throughout most of it. Because Stephen King has the weirdest tendency to just focus on the stupidest things, where it'll be like one of the kids will be running down the street, and then out of nowhere, Stephen King focuses on this flower by the sidewalk. It's like, it's the most prettiest flower. It had this whatever stuff to it, and the neighbor is going to eventually pluck it and then turn it into something like this and put it in a vase or something, and then it'll come back to the kid 30 minutes later, and it's like that throughout the book.
I haven't read any Stephen King, but it's crap like that makes me actively not want to read anything by him.
Yeah, because this book, it was very creepy and had so many good moments. It's just like, it was super slow. At least for me it was. So, I mean, I wouldn't recommend this one if it's your first time reading a Stephen King book. Because it was my first time reading a Stephen King book.
I know, have you ever heard of the TV series of The Shining?
Yes, that's the one that Stephen King directed, right?
Yes, it's notoriously unwatchable.
That's what I've heard. I heard it's really boring.
Yeah, because A, Stephen King doesn't know how to direct a movie, and B, I think that the Stanley Kubrick version is so utterly interesting that I can't imagine going back and reading the original book.
Yeah. And like, yeah, Stephen King hates the movie. I remember that.
Because it's better?
I don't even know why. He's talked about it so much, I never even looked into why exactly. Probably because it diverts from the book. That's my assumption, but...
Well, that's obviously the case. Well, there's one scene in the movie that's very specifically designed to be a jab at Stephen King. Because you said Stephen King tends to hover above the little details. There's a scene in the movie where the character's driving by a car that's been wrecked, and it's like a Beetle, and the main character is not driving a Beetle, he's driving his own car. And because in the book, the main character drove a Beetle, So it was kind of this
Mhm.
little like nod detail of just like, yeah, screw you. We're not gonna do what you do, everything you wanted us to do.
It's interesting.
I mean, it's not the most narratively important detail ever, but apparently it diverges significantly. So
Yeah. Did you know that Stephen King wrote a sequel to The Shining?
I did not.
Doctor Sleep.
Oh, that's recent.
Yeah. Like 2013 or so.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in stores when I was searching through, just walking through them once. I haven't looked into it or anything, but if that's the case, that's cool.
Yeah. He's always writing. How old is he?
I assume he's close to death at this point, but I'm not sure.
Oh, he's 69.
Hey.
Obviously.
Welcome. It's the number of the week every week. Of course it is.
Every week.
You ever
All the time.
Have you ever seen Rob Dyke on YouTube?
Seen who?
Rob Dyke.
No, I don't think so.
He's a comedy / horror YouTuber, and he does a series called Why Would You Put That on the Internet? That's all about just kind of like putting out the weirdest crap that people will put on social media and like just putting it in one place so it's kind of distilled. And he constantly makes like 69 jokes. It's like, what's the word of the day? Of course, well, I'll tell you what the word of the day is. It's 69. And he does like the eyes. He's like, yeah, you know what day it is. Dude, you got quiet there after I made the joke. Dude, you cut out like for like 5 seconds after I made the joke. I felt insanely uncomfortable, like I just offended you or something, man.
You just cut off too for a second.
We're
There are
not,
otherworldly forces that do not want us to speak to each other.
it's called Skype. It's gained sentience.
Why is it so mad at us?
I don't know. It's probably because it's used for terrible purposes.
I thought that's what Omegle was for.
Who knows? It's forced to live a horrible life.
Oh well. What? Wow, we really go from topic to topic, don't we?
Kinda do.
Keeps the show on its toes.
And it keeps the viewer incredibly bored.
The reader.
You're reading the transcript for this podcast.
They're reading with their ears.
There's just gonna be text that says dead air.
Well, should we talk about the Emoji Movie?
This movie is cancer.
So yeah, Emoji Movie, Oscar bait. It's gonna get every award. It's gonna sweep the show. I'm telling you.
This movie wasted a day of Sir Patrick Stewart's time.
Oh my god, I can't believe that they did that to him to make him the poop emoji.
Why would you do this to such a national treasure?
It felt almost like an attack, like an insult to Patrick Stewart.
Well, he signed to do it, so you can't blame them entirely. But it's certainly a snub on the nose of the greatest actor of his generation.
I'm hoping that everyone just kind of, because I really just hope that people would stop talking about the movie. The more that people talk about the movie, the more chance that people will just go see it. And then the more people go see it, the more it's gonna make money, and then they might make more stuff like this, and it just makes me mad.
Good lord, the existential terror you're creating in my head right now.
Well, domestically it's only grossed like 58 million, and its budget was 50 million. So it's not doing as good as Sony probably hoped it would.
Well, thank the Lord for that. Thank
Yep.
goodness.
They canceled Popeye for this.
Yeah, we live in a very cruel world, unfortunately.
It's just the way it is nowadays.
I haven't seen the pitch video for that Popeye movie. I heard it's very good though.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Yeah, I liked it. It was the animation was very fluid and it was fun to watch. Even like
The stills I saw kind of reminded me of the Peanuts movie.
oh yeah, yeah, like it makes me think of that only because yeah, they did look very similar, and even the color schemes kind of reminded me of Peanuts.
I will say, I like that we live in an age when 3D animation is starting to figure out how to recreate 2D animation efficiently.
Yeah, it's like 'cause Peanuts I liked that they were able to do that, like stay true to the original cartoon in that style.
It drives me crazy when like animators feel like they have to do everything in like add the third dimension to it when they're using 3D animation. Because 3D animation, it's very good at certain things, but like realistic designs have not been like one of the things it's good at. It's really good at when you stylize it.
Yeah.
But if you do like lifelike animation with it, it looks really awkward.
Yeah, like what was something I saw recently where they 3D animated somebody and it just looked really bad and it was super distracting. I can't remember, but the first thing that comes to mind always was Star Wars Rogue One.
Leia?
Yeah, Leia, because I don't even know how to explain it. It's like for a split second I was like, oh, and then for another split second I was like, oh, that's fake. That's really fake.
She did die like the day after that, so.
Oh, why did you have to remind me?
I'm wondering if it killed her.
Oh, jeez.
No, I'm kidding. I'm being dark. It's like, Disney took out a hit. We don't need you anymore. They send a message.
Oh my gosh. I'm super nervous about what they'll do with Princess Leia's character though in the next movie. Like, does this mean that they might kill off Princess Leia because
they might have no choice?
Like I don't know. Like, I don't want to see her die.
Is Luke Skywalker due for a death?
No, that's probably gonna be the 9th movie if he dies, because that's a big one. He was the main character of the original trilogy, and if they just kill him off now, it might be a little too soon. Because he just got back in at the end of the previous movie.
Yeah, but his archetypal role is supposed to be the guy who teaches you and then dies, so.
Yeah, but technically they already did that trope in the previous movie, The Force Awakens, kind of.
Yeah, that's true. They could get an excuse not to kill him. So,
like, a part of me feels like they're, like, I really hope they don't. With the Force Awakens, how everything was very similar to A New Hope, the entire story. A part of me, I really just hope they don't do that with the next movie, make it too similar to Empire Strikes Back.
I suspect that they're gonna do like a really huge heel turn in Last Jedi.
I really hope so, and I mean, a part of me wonders, like, what exactly is gonna happen, especially when Carrie Fisher mentioned that this next movie is about family, and I was like, oh, we're gonna find out that her dad is somebody else important.
Could be. I mean, I suspect they have to find something that's like vitally paradigm shifting in Star Wars, because they can't keep making fan service movies.
Yeah.
People are already freaking sick of it, and they're only 2 movies in. Well, you gotta think about that. Think about being at Disney now. It's like, oh gosh, we just spent $1 billion. We just remade half of Disney World into this, and we've put 2 movies out, and people are already mad at us. We have to do. If they mess up The Last Jedi, people will not forgive them.
Oh no, but I mean, like, considering Phantom Menace was like really bad, but everyone still went to go see Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. I mean, they could be forgiving. It's possible.
Yes and no, because you're breaking their heart a second time.
That's true.
You break your heart. You hurt them once, shame on you. Hurt them twice,
you're gonna lose money.
Inordinate amounts.
I don't know, anything's possible. I'm just I'm keeping my fingers crossed because I really liked Force Awakens, you know, besides the whole too similar to A New Hope. I really liked Force Awakens, and I really liked Rogue One.
I thought The Force Awakens being as safe as it was supposed to be some sort of like a red herring, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I feel like they did go that safe route because the last Star Wars movie was Revenge of the Sith, and people talk about how much they hate the prequel trilogy. Maybe they're probably... I mean, it was probably hard to bring all the fans back, so they did go a little safe with that to get everyone reintroduced to the new story.
Sure. I mean, I like Revenge of the Sith personally, but it's none of those prequels are good.
Yeah.
It's one of those...
I mean, I don't think that Revenge of the Sith is bad either, like, or at least not as bad as everyone says it is, because,
it gets
I don't like Phantom Menace. And I like Attack of the Clones because I thought it was just funny, like, with, what's his name? Anakin, whatever the actor's name is. His acting is so...
I hate sand.
Like, I don't want to say bad, but it was a little directionless?
I won't say he's hammy, but the scenery behind him has teeth marks on it, so...
But also his chemistry with Padme was just so bad. I just thought it was hilarious the whole time. I had such a fun time watching Attack of the Clones.
I don't know, I find it just kind of boring at this point.
Yeah. I always find the humor in those little things, so it's easier for me to be entertained by that.
Well, good for you, at least. Do you like the Genndy Tarkovsky Clone Wars?
The one that was on Cartoon Network?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Wait a minute. There was two of them. There was that, like, 2-episode one, and then there was, like, the 4-season one. Which one are you talking about?
The old one.
The old one. Yeah, I have it on DVD. I haven't watched it in such a long time, but I remember I really liked it.
I watched it.
Right. Tarkovsky. Yeah, right. I remember now.
Popeye, so yeah.
Yeah, I vaguely remember watching it. I haven't seen it in so long. I remember when my family had a Star Wars marathon when we watched the movies in chronological order, and we watched Clone Wars in between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith.
Wasn't it nice when you could watch all these movies in one sitting and it wasn't like completely a mess?
Yeah, I guess. Does that mean we have to watch Rogue One before A New Hope now?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh well.
You have 8 movies to watch, and by the end of next year, you'll have 10.
And then after that, there's the Han Solo movie.
That including that one.
Which I don't know how I feel about that because, I mean, spoilers for anyone who haven't seen Force Awakens, in which I don't know how you haven't by now, but, you know, since Han Solo's dead...
It's young Han Solo.
Right, but I mean, I don't know, it's gonna be, 3 years after his death? I don't know, it just seems so late. I wish they just brought it sooner.
Well, they're obviously doing the, well, we can't, at this point, we can't bring back Harrison Ford because he doesn't want to do anymore, but we can recast him, and we could do a younger version, and we could do a couple movies with the young one.
I guess.
That might be lucrative.
Hey, money! Woo!
All the money.
All the monies. They're gonna get all the monies. And he's being played by Alden
Ehrenreich. The lovely human being who was the star of Hail Caesar.
Oh.
You've seen that, right?
I did not see it.
Dude, it's a Coen Brothers movie. You gotta see those.
I know, I made an intention to go see it, and I just ended up never doing it.
Dude, you missed out. It's not the strongest Coen Brothers movie, but it's a very cool little comedy movie.
Yeah, I should check it out.
As you should.
That reminds me of this one Coen Brothers movie that apparently I'd never heard of, A Simple Man?
There are a couple vague ones.
Serious Man.
There are a couple of vague ones that not a lot of people know of.
Yeah, but I mean, like, because I've been through their filmography and I've seen a lot, but then for whatever reason, I'd never heard of A Serious Man. And that's always bugged me.
Well, fix the problem, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, what's this? Dark Web. They're making a movie called Dark Web. That could be exciting.
What is it?
Oh, wait, what? Hollywood Reporter says Coen Brothers to write internet thriller Dark Web for Fox. Oh, I'm ready for that. About Ross William Ulbricht, who built a global drug bazaar called the Silk Road and became a murderous kingpin in the process. I've been waiting for someone to make an actual Dark Web movie.
It does seem like an interesting concept.
Yeah. I mean, just because the Dark Web is so, dark, that there's so much you could do with it in a movie, like not even a biographical film, even a fictional one.
You could also make an incredibly silly movie.
Mm-hmm, yep.
You're walking a tightrope, man.
It could be difficult, but, it could be interesting. I can just see a lot of interesting things you can do with people hacking into people's information and using their information or finding where they are, and it could be really creepy. And it could freak people out and getting them to be more careful with their internet information.
Yeah, I mean, the dark web is one of those things where it sounds nefarious, and to a degree it is, but for the most part, it's not like a bunch of like horribly illegal stuff going on. It's for the you can access the dark web just by going on to Wikipedia images, because none of that's the only thing that dark web signifies. Or actually, I'm mixing up dark web with deep web. My bad. For some reason my brain was thinking deep web, but yeah, dark web is bad.
Yeah. Yep.
No argument there.
I always hear people talking about how the deep web or the dark web, or one of the two, is like something like 70% of the internet or something like that.
The deep web is 70% of the internet. The dark web is rather hidden.
Right. And I'm like, I didn't really believe that, but then I think I found out somewhere that deep web is just a lot of unused information.
Deep web is stuff that's not publicly accessible.
Right, yeah. That would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, deep web just means you can't find it on Google. You have to use, for the most part, the only way you can find it is if you have to use a special type of browser called Tor, and it allows you to access it. But you're not going to find the red rooms and mail order weed and stuff like that very easily.
Right, yeah.
If only just because the government searches through the deep webs to find crap.
Is Tor browser safe? Do you know?
I've never used it. You'd probably be at somewhat of a risk just for going near it, but it's hard to tell. I don't think it's illegal or anything.
The government might be listening. We should probably talk about something else.
Well, of course the government's listening. It's been listening to you for 50 years.
Nah, crap. I should be in jail by now.
Well, they can't play their hand.
Not until they have enough cards.
They wait until the dead of night when they have a proof that you've been doing enough minor transgressions.
I guess. Are there any movies that you've seen recently that are...
I just saw The Dark Tower.
Oh, you saw Dark Tower!
In our digression of Stephen King movies.
Right. I heard that this movie tried to cram in, too much from the books, because it's 7 books. Yeah, it's 7 books
digested down into 90 minutes.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's a masterpiece of bad. It's more mediocre, I will say. It's not a unwatchably bad movie. It's just a highly incompetent, mediocre movie.
Yeah, and it's not doing good at the box office either.
Yeah, which means that they're not gonna be able to do a sequel with none of the source material that's left. So.
Yeah, and they plan to do a TV series too.
Of Dark Tower?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That would be better suited to the material, honestly.
Yeah, that would make more sense, like a Netflix or AMC series.
which is a lot of especially with longer material like that.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I've been meaning to talk about this with somebody. The Mummy didn't do well at the box office, like, at all. And so now the fate of the Dark Universe is, like, up in the air.
Good.
And people are wondering what's going to happen.
I saw The Mummy, darn it.
I did too, yeah.
Good lord, what a mess.
Like, I really didn't like it. And that made me angry because I was kind of excited for the Dark Universe. I was kind of excited to see what they could do with these things because the material, like the Invisible Man, the Creature of the Black Lagoon, it's all stuff that hasn't really been touched on in such a mainstream way in so long. And I was excited to see what they could do in a more modern way, but The Mummy was just like, it was just another Tom Cruise action film, and they took something like that was supposed to be so subtle, I guess, or...
Well, it's not that the Mummy movie's ever been subtle, as the Brendan Fraser movies can attest to.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about the one from the 30s, was it?
Well, yes. I just think that that's the one people tend to refer to. I've seen a lot of the Universal monster movies, but anyone who's going to see a Mummy movie is seeing it because, oh, they're remaking that one from the 90s I liked. It's not that they're remaking that subtle horror movie from the 30s.
Yeah.
Well, the only way you could have really done this would be to dramatically shift the tone and style of the story. And they sort of did that, but they did it in the way, like, the worst ways possible.
Yeah, they did, like, the way Tom Cruise would.
But Tom Cruise is not bad at picking out scripts, though. He's usually really good at that.
Yeah, but I also heard that he had a lot of control over the Mummy.
That's interesting. That's
like, he made a lot of the choices, or he did a lot of something. Like, I can't pick and point exactly what happened, but apparently he had some form of control over it. But without his control, might have been a completely different movie, maybe a better one.
No, it would not have been, because the screenwriters are terrible.
Well, I don't know. He could have made some script changes. Who knows?
Have you heard of Alex Kurtzman and Robert Orsi?
Wait, I forgot. Alex Kurtzman. I've researched him before and I forgot. Okay, yeah, Star Trek and oh my gosh, what was the other thing?
Amazing Spider-Man and then Transformers.
Right.
These guys are hacks and they run everything.
Okay, yeah. Cowboys and Aliens, Transformers. Right.
And these guys are now doing the entire Universal, like, extended universe.
Well, now that's confusing. Why would Universal choose these guys to do this?
Because they're bankable.
I know, but they were so excited about... I mean, Universal is, like, going nuts trying to promote this Dark Universe thing. And... I mean, I don't know. It's like these movies... None of these movies did that well critically, but I guess a bunch of them did well financially, and that's all they cared about.
They've only done one so far. Originally they were going to start with Dracula Untold, and then that movie turned out to be completely unwatchable, so...
Yeah, Dracula Untold, that was all over the place. But, I don't know, I'm confused why they're doing Bride of Frankenstein next, not Frankenstein.
Probably because they think that they're going to get more attention by doing that, if I had to guess. Because, like, when there's a scene where they're at Dr. Jekyll's hideout in The Mummy, which is freaking weird.
That's another topic.
There are references to Dracula and Creature from the Black Lagoon in the background, apparently, so...
Yeah.
So
Mummy also, it just kind of felt like a setup for the rest of the movies, but... I think, like, there was so much focus on what was going to happen in the future that that was not necessary.
My favorite line in The Mummy was the last one in the movie where he shows up next to his friend. The one guy shows up next to him and is like, "Thank you for bringing me back to life, but I don't know why you did it."
Oh my gosh, that was so annoying. Like, that whole best friend thing, which... I'm going to spoil American Werewolf in London. Have you seen it?
Won't you tell me about my best? Go ahead.
Have you seen American Werewolf in London?
I have not, but its reputation precedes it.
Do you mind if I spoil something about it?
You may spoil something about American Werewolf in London.
Okay, so in that movie, the main character's best friend dies, almost like towards the beginning. And the rest of the movie, the main character sees his ghost, and he's telling him about what's going to happen, and like about the curse and whatever. And that's exactly what happens in The Mummy. The Mummy literally ripped off American Werewolf in London.
You see, this is why we don't respect The Mummy.
Yeah, no. Like, I want to forget it exists. And I'm so irritated because I was so excited for this movie.
I got a free poster from it, and the only time I ever want to think about it again is when I look at that poster and think, wow, they gave me a free poster.
It's like, hey, it was free. You can use it as like a tablecloth or something.
Fun story. I have a poster I use specifically as a coaster. It's for poster for Tammy.
Oh, yeah, I remember Tammy.
I never saw it. I had no reason to suspect that I was going to enjoy the experience of watching Tammy, so I thus used it for practical purposes.
I saw Tammy.
Good lord, why? You poor soul.
I don't remember why I saw Tammy. I just remember that I did see Tammy. It was one of my least favorite movies of that year. I remember that.
That was kind of during Melissa McCarthy's brief renaissance, I guess.
Renaissance?
That was like post Bridesmaids, pre the movie where she steals people's identities.
Yeah, that's the, I don't know what you call it, her fame high.
Post breakout, pre overexposure.
Yeah, like the minute after Bridesmaids, and people thought, oh, we can use her, and she started popping up in everything.
I think we ran out of things to do with her by the time we hit Spy, so I don't know.
I don't know. But that's probably why we don't see her as much anymore.
We saw her in Ghostbusters, the internet's favorite movie.
Oh, yeah! Which, I mean, by the way, I think it was not worth all of the everything. Like, just, there was so much controversy around it, and it really wasn't worth it.
I'll say what I said back then. Ghostbusters is a movie that's rather mediocre, but it's functional in ways that make it serve the purposes of whatever the viewer wants it to be.
Yeah.
So if you want it to be a funny enough comedy, that way you can get back at all those people who are just hating on it, it's good enough where you could reasonably make the case. And if you really don't want to like it, it's scatological and dysfunctional enough where you can make that case too. So yeah. It's just kind of like there. It's kind of just like a mirror of a film. It doesn't really do anything.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like overall it's just going to be forgotten after a while.
Probably, yeah. Probably like the Total Recall and RoboCop remakes.
Oh, I forgot those happened!
Good lord.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I saw RoboCop, and that was really bad. It was really boring.
I saw it in theaters. I had high hopes. I was crushed.
Oh my gosh, I was so bored like the whole time. I think because I was just so used to the original's over-the-top violence, and this one was like so tame, it was boring.
Yeah, it felt like a committee movie about, like, you can tell that the thinking of the movie was, like, how do we do a parody of a remake of this movie? And that was but they didn't know how to do it.
I mean, they definitely tried to go more into RoboCop's family life, so that's great.
Well, it was always just a plot point in the original, though. It wasn't necessary.
No, it wasn't.
It's all just establishing his humanity, and that way you actually feel something for the guy. You don't necessarily just feel for the family.
Nope. Because honestly, I didn't really care that much.
Yeah. It sounds like the father unit's home. Anyway, do you want to kind of wrap up for the night?
Sure, yeah.
All right, it's been a good hearing from you again, man. It's been too long.
Yeah, it's good hearing from you too.
All right, we should do this more frequently. This has been an episode of the Groupthink Podcast. Everyone have a good night. See you later, man.
See ya.